No. Okay, we are going to be looking at fifths today. So we're going to look at a problem as we start the lesson. That's going to tell us, it's going to be an example of fifths. Okay, so this is our word problem. Mrs. Snyder's class has 25 pencils. They want to divide evenly into 5 cups so that each group gets 1/5 of the pencils. How many pencils should they put in each cup? I'll give everybody a chance to think. Don't raise your hand if you haven't really had a chance to think about it. Take a minute, think about it, think about how you might do it. And I'm going to draw 25 pencils on the board.
That's just a lot. That's not a pencil. Just a stick. Just a pencil.
There, imaginary pencils. If you think you know what it might be, raise your hand. Okay. Anjali, what do you think it might be? 5. Who agrees with Anjali? Okay, some of you agree. Okay, why do you think it might be 5?
Because when we count for 5, then on your finger it says 5.
Oh, so she used the strategy of counting by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So she knew that there would be 5 different fingers there. 5 groups of 5. You could draw the pencils like I did or the sticks like I did, and you could group them with circles, and you would have to make 5 groups as you. Remember, we don't say something is so easy because it might not be so easy for everyone. Okay. So we could do it that way and make 5 individual groups. There are a few different ways you can go about doing it. Okay. I would like at this point for you guys to go group by group and get your math notebook. We're going to do a spider. Actually, no, I'll just give you a piece of paper. We'll do it with a plain piece of paper. Chad, we're not in group 6. Turn back around. Everybody's going to take 1 piece of paper.
I'm taking.
Chad, you're not in group 6. I would like you on your piece of paper to draw a spider. This time, draw the spider with 8 legs.
I'm dragging my
Happy class.
Yes, he is.
We're not supposed to be talking right now. We're just supposed to be following directions. Parag and Stephen. Okay, on your piece of paper, draw a spider. Draw a head, draw a body, and make 8 legs. And on the ends of the legs, choose a number between 1 and 10, or 1 to 10. Show me that you're ready when you've got your numbers on there by looking up at me. Please don't take your tooth out in class. You can try working on it in recess. Okay, Gato's got his ready. We need to put 2 more legs. 2 more legs, 2 more numbers. 8 legs, 8 numbers.
8 legs on each side?
No, 4 legs on each side. 8 legs, 8 numbers.
Are we going to get started?
You have something to say, please raise your hand. What's the question? We will give the person who can call out spider a star. Now, let me preface the game today by telling you that the questions are not just going to be tenths this time, because we learned about thirds last week. We learned about tenths and thirds, and we already know about halves and quarters, so any of those things I can ask you. Okay, everyone's looking at me, so I'm assuming that means you have your numbers. Joel, do you have all your numbers?
Oh, no.
Come on, let's get those numbers on there.
We can do 11.
No, only up to 10. Only up to 10. Okay, Q shows me that he's ready. Shastavir's ready. Sarah's ready. Chen's ready. Vishwash is ready. All the rest of you guys are ready. Just waiting for Caleb to show me that he's ready. Can you look up here when you're ready, Caleb? Okay. Joel, you ready? Okay, now Joel's ready. Okay, our first number. Now this is going to be numbers you have written down, but you need to find the answer, not this number. 1/3 of 9. If you have a number with 1/3 of 9, scratch it off on your spider. 1/3 of 9, scratch off that leg. Yes, Sarah? You may circle it. You may circle it or scratch it just so you know that that leg is finished. If you know the answer, keep it to yourself because you want your classmates to be surprised by who has spider. Second number, 1/10 of 20. 1/10 of 20. Don't say anything. Just scratch it off if you have it. 1/10 of 20. Remember we talked about tenths last week. 1/10 of 20.
I know that answer.
1/2 of 16. 1/2 of 16. 1/2 of 16. Okay, next one. 1/3 of 18. 1/3 of 18. Remember, fractions are like division. 1/3 of 18. Cheating. 1/3 of 18. Just think about it. Think about breaking 18 into 3 parts. What is the number? Break 18 into 3 parts. 3 equal parts. And how many are in those parts?
I know that. Oh, just a second.
I'll give you a few more seconds to think about it.
Should I do it?
No, you should not tell him the answer. It's the same thing as dividing. 18 divided by 3. Think of your answer. Okay, this one's going to be very similar, so it might help you with the last one.
Oh!
1/3 of 21. 1/3 of 1/3 of 21. 21 divided into 3 equal parts. 1/3 of 21. Okay, next one.
No, I don't know that.
I'm waiting for everyone to be quiet. Stephen and Parag, I'm waiting for everyone to be quiet. Okay, the next one. 1/10 of 50.
1/10?
1/10.
50.
1/10 of 50, a 50.
What does that mean?
50 broken into 10 equal parts.
Oh!
What's the answer? We talked about tenths last week. Class, we should not be talking during this game. Okay? Next one, 1/10 of 40.
What does that mean? 1/10.
1/10. Just like the last time we played this game, we did only tenths.
What does that mean?
40 divided into 10 equal parts.
Did we have 8 yet?
I don't think so.
Like, yes, we did.
Okay. 40 divided into 10 equal parts. 1/10 of 40. Okay. Classy class.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to sit quietly during this game because we want the game to keep moving along. 1/10 of 10.
Spider.
Okay, 2 spiders. We'll just review which numbers should be marked off on your papers. You could have had 1/3 of 9, which is 3. 1/10 of 20, which is 2. 1/2 of 16, which is 8. 1/3 of 18, which is 6. 1/3 of 21, which is 7. And 1/10 of 10, which is 1. You have all those, any of those marked off, Yulin?
Can we keep on?
Okay, so Yulin and Chan will get a star for this game.
We got 7 marked off. I got this at 2 more. I have 1 more.
Nope, we're not to 10. Okay, so today we're talking about fifths. Now before we look at this, what's one possible question, Joel and Sarah, that I could have asked for fifths? If I asked 1/5 of some number, give me a number that we could do into fifths evenly.
1/5 of 2.
Of which one?
10.
Of 10. 1/5 of 10. Okay, so think about it for a second. What would 1/5 of 10 be? 10 divided into 5 equal parts. Ajit? 1/5 of 10. You don't need to laugh. Think about it again. 10 divided into 5 equal parts.
I know.
Okay, you. What do you think?
2.
2. Okay, so 1/5 of 10. If we took 5 equal parts of 10, we would put 2 in this part, 2 in this part, 2 in this part, 2 in this part, 2 in this part. Okay, so this is a rectangle showing you a rectangle broken into fifths. 5 equal parts. Now, what do the 5 equal parts of a fraction add up to? Chef Shabir.
50.
What do the 5 equal parts add up to? What do we call it? No, it's not a big number. It's a very small number. If we take the 5 pieces of a fraction, what do we have? What is the same as 5/5? 5/5 equals what? Vishwas? 1 whole unit. Okay, so 5/5, each part is a portion of a whole. 1 piece is 1/5 of the whole. 2 pieces is 2/5 of the whole. Just like we learned with tenths and thirds, these are parts of a whole. Okay, and we can write this in words. 1/5 in words. And each piece, how much is each piece worth, Anjali? Each piece of this. Keep your activity books closed, please. Each piece, what's the value of each piece? One-fifth. Okay, how much is this piece worth, Gato? 1/5. What about this piece, Stephen? How much is this one? 1/5. Okay, so each piece, if it's divided equally, Parag, I don't want to see the back of your head. If it's divided equally, then that means it's a fifth. Okay, what if the shape changes? Does it matter if the shape changes?
No.
Okay, Sarah, can you tell me what's the most important thing? If the shape doesn't matter, what matters? How many parts and how do they have to relate to each other? They have to be different sizes?
I was going to say same size.
Okay.
I'm going to say
So
size.
we all agree. The pieces have to be the same size, so the arrangement or the shape doesn't matter, but the equal size pieces matter. Okay, so even though this is not a rectangle divided this way, it's a rectangle divided this way into 5 individual squares, which are each 1/5. Is this rectangle divided into fifths? Raise your hand if you think it is.
No.
Raise your hand if you think it isn't. Okay. Yato, why is this not divided into fifths?
Because like there is not the same size and not the same something like this.
They're not equal.
Yeah.
That's the word you're looking for. So he said that they're not the same size, or in other words, they're not equally sized parts, because this part is quite small, and this one is a lot bigger. This one is quite small, and these are bigger than that. So it needs to be equal sized parts, whether you're working with fifths, or tenths, or quarters, or thirds, or halves, the parts have to be equal. Shashavir?
It's not a fifth, now it's a fourth, because if you keep these 2 tiny ones, then it's 1.
Oh, you think if you add these two together, it would make a part of it?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. You could probably measure it and get very technical
Yeah, 1/4.
and find it. Okay, we can write it in words, 1/5, or we can use the standard notation, which is written this way. But in your books, because this is how the computer does it, when you write it, for me, I want it this way with the line in the middle. Can you see that?
Yeah.
The line in the middle. This is standard fraction notation. Can anybody remember what that top number is called? It's a word that starts with N.
Nutrition.
I
Noodle.
think you might know what it is. Raise your hand. Okay, that one's tricky. We just do it the other way. The top number. I know you guys can figure out the bottom, so I'll tell you the numerator. And the bottom number is a funny word that sounds like Terminator, kind of. You said it in a funny voice. What is it? Denominator. Right? That's how we remember what the bottom is. Okay, so the numerator and the denominator. Now I'm going to show you guys some fractions, and then you're going to tell me what portion is shaded according to what I'm asking you. Okay, this first one, what portion of this rectangle is shaded red? Raise your hand if you think you know what portion of this one is shaded red. You see some more hands, some more people thinking about this. What portion of this rectangle is shaded red? Are you thinking about it?
I want to see it.
What portion? You need to tell me in a fraction.
Oh,
Okay, tell me in a fraction. Joel, what fraction of this is shaded red?
1/5.
1/5. Great. Okay, the one at the bottom left. What fraction of this one is shaded red? Give a second for the people on this side. This side seems to be very sleepy this morning. You'll be very sleepy. Okay, what fraction of this one is shaded red? Thank you, Gilvin. What's the answer? Not quite. Sorry, say it again. You said it. I think you say 5/3. Okay, switch it the other way. Put the 3 on top. 3/5. Very good. Okay, 3/5 are shaded red. Here's a question that you have seen in your books. Which portion of this one is not shaded red? Shastra dear.
5.
2/5. Very good. We've seen this in our book, this type of question. Okay, look at this one. Which portion of this rectangle is shaded blue? Okay, can you look at this one and tell me which portion is shaded blue?
Which portion is
Of this one.
3?
3 what?
5?
3/5. Yep. 3/5 are shaded blue. Anjali, what portion is shaded red? 2/5. Very good. Okay, let's look at this bottom one. What portion of this one is shaded blue? See that people are ready. Ajit, what portion of this one is shaded blue?
1/5.
1/5. Okay, here's a different way of asking the question. Parag, what portion of this one is not shaded blue?
4/5.
Very good. Now we're going to look at some with a different shape. Okay, this top one, as you can see over my head, what portion is shaded blue in the top left? U. What portion is shaded blue?
2.
2 what?
2/5.
2/5. Yes. Okay, what portion of this one is shaded blue? Sarah. 3/5. What portion, Sarah, is not shaded blue?
2/5.
2/5. Okay, what about this one? Ajit, what's shaded blue? 1/5. And what portion is not shaded blue, Ajit? 4/5. Okay, now looking at this last one, what portion of this one is shaded green? Dishwash.
4/5.
4/5 is shaded green. Stephen, what portion of this one is shaded red? 1/5. Okay, and then in a different way of asking it, what portion is not shaded green? 1/5. Yes.
It's the same answer.
Make you guys understand. Okay, now, before we move on to this, I don't want you to see these questions yet. We're going to look in our activity books. Hold it for a few minutes. I know you use a lot of water. Okay, we're going to open our activity books to page 32. Sarah, if you're done with your activity book, I want you to work on that sheet. The directions are going to be very similar. So everybody should open their activity books to page 2.
Page 2 or 32?
32. Page 32. We're going to look at the directions together. Okay? We're going to look at the directions together. Class, we're all working to earn a star for our math lesson. So I expect you to be following directions.
Can we do ourselves?
You may do it yourself, but I'm going to go over the questions with you. Okay, the top portion says color 1/5 of each shape. This is the same kind of activity we've been doing with the other types of fractions. We're going to color 1 part. And the next section is very familiar to us. Ticking the shapes would show fifths. So we need to be counting, are there 5 equal parts or not? And then ticking the ones that do have 5 equal parts. Beware of the shapes that have kind of funny, not equally divided parts. You need to be aware of that. The next part is going to tell you to color a portion of the fraction, which you already know how to do. And when your table needs colors, go quietly and get colors to do that. And then last, what fraction of each shape, and then you're supposed to tell what fraction is yellow, what fraction is green, blue, red, etc. Okay?
I'm done.
And how are we to write our answers, Anjali? When it asks us for a fraction, how should we write that? Sit down, Joel. Right, so I expect you, class, I expect you when they're asking a question that begins with what fraction or what portion, I expect you to write your fraction as a fraction, not a whole number. Okay, you need to use your standard fraction notation, so I know that you're talking about a fraction, not a whole number, okay? Okay, you can work on this right now, and then we'll come back for our assessment of the lesson in just a few minutes.
Now, what is it?
You need to work on your activity pages first. If you have a question or you're not sure about something, please raise your hand and let me know. You know what you're supposed to be doing? Yep, that's what you do. And Joel, you know what you're supposed to be doing? Okay.
Mr. Snyder, can I just
Color with pencil unless it specifies a color. But I think that sheet doesn't have any color. This sheet is a review of all the fractions that you've been working on so far. When you finish your activity book pages, if you work through them pretty quickly, there is a pupil sheet at the beginning or at the front of the room that you can take pupil sheet number 33 and do a few more and it also includes some review items. You need to pay close attention when you switch to the pupil sheet because they're asking for different kinds of fractions, not just fifths on this one. I like how everybody's working this morning. You're working really well at your new table arrangements. When you finish the second sheet, I'm going to give you a short assessment, and all you need to do is put it on the back of your spider sheet.
But Miss, we take my sheet.
Well, I have some extras.
Already.
That's
I
fine.
already
It's
did.
okay, I have extras.
Miss, we take my sheet.
When I put these questions on the board, it's very important for you to not talk to your neighbor about it. Try to do these two questions on your own. Okay, are you ready? Paper. Those of you who are ready for your next sheet, I will give you a piece of paper. Go have a seat. Go have a seat, and I will bring you your paper. Try to get your pupil sheet.
That's your peep.
Stephen, are you working with pupil sheet next? Have you done the pupil sheet yet? You did it or did not?
I did it.
Question in here for you. Okay, before you do your assessment, if you finish your pupil sheet, I want you to think with a partner
I have no
about this
partner.
question. If you have no partner, there are other tables with no partners. I would like you to work with Vishwas at the back, okay?
We said she's not finished with PhD.
Well, you can turn and work with him for this question. Okay, this question says Mark and Annette spent 1/5 of their money on decorations for a party. If they spent $20 on decorations, how much money do they have left? This is a multi-step problem.
What does that mean?
It means that you have to do more than one thing to figure out the answer. I want you to figure out the answer with somebody at your table. Or someone at the table behind you.
So do we do 10? Do I have like 5?
You talk about it with the person behind your table.
It's 2. No, it's 5.